welcome to all the dignitaries, delegates, and scholars. This is the third national conference organized by PG students, and this is the second national conference organized by our SV Agriculture College, Tirupati. I am Rudula, PhD scholar, crop physiology. There is a saying, whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon must inevitably come to pass. This Student National Conference has been an example of one such activity. It's a rare occasion to see the galaxy of scientific personnel here at one place in the temple city, Tirupati. It gives me tremendous contentment to give invocation among the esteemed personalities who won recognition in their respective fields. It's my immense pleasure to welcome you all on this pleasant morning for National Conference of Postgraduate Students 2021 on Multidimensional Approaches for Sustaining Food and Nutritional Security, which is organized by postgraduate students of SV Agriculture College, Tirupati, Acharya N.G. Ranga Agricultural University. It is my privilege to give a cordial welcome to President of today's National Conference, Dr. A. Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Acharya N.G. Ranga Agricultural University. I request you, sir, to come over to the dais and preside the function. Now, I request Ms. Rupasri to greet sir with a flower bouquet. It is indeed a great honor and privilege to welcome our chief guest of today's national conference, Dr. Rakesh Chandra Agarwal Garu, Deputy Director General, Education, ICR, New Delhi. A red carpet welcome to you, sir. Your presence makes a lot of difference to the young minds sitting in this auditorium, sir. And we invite you, sir. Now I request Ms. Chandini to welcome sir with a flower bouquet. It is my privilege to give a delightful welcome and to introduce our distinguished guest, Honorable Dr. S. Rajan Prasad Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore. I request you, sir, to come over the dais and occupy the chair. Now, I request Ms. Sandhya to greet sir with a flower bouquet. I take this opportunity to give a pleasant welcome to our guest of honor, Sri T.V. Muralinath Reddy Garu, Honorable Member, Board of Management, Acharya N.G. Ranga Agricultural University. Request you, sir, to come over the dais and occupy the chair. Now, I request Ms. Archana to welcome sir with a flower bouquet. I also extend cheerful welcome to our organizing chairman of today's national conference, Dr. D. Balguravaya Garu, Dean of PG Studies, Acharya N.G. Ranga Agricultural University. I request you, sir, to come over the dais and occupy the chair. Now, I request Ms. Deepthi to greet sir with a flower bouquet. My hearty welcome to the special invitee, Dr. A. Pratap Kumar Reddy Garu, Dean of Agriculture, Acharya N.G. Ranga Agricultural University. I request you, sir, to come over the dais and occupy the chair. Now, I request Ms. Divya to welcome sir with a flower bouquet. I also extend a warm welcome to our beloved Associate Dean, Dr. B. Ravindranath Reddy Garu, SV Agriculture College, Tirupati, our Organizing Secretary, Dr. G. Karunasagar Sir, Professor and Head, Department of Agronomy, our Co-Organizing Secretary, Dr. P.V. Satyagopal Sir, Professor and Head of Agribusiness Management, and our mentor, Dr. S. Kai Mohammad Garu, Associate Professor, Office of Dean of PG Studies, and my colleague Organizing Secretaries, V.K. Vasudev Rao and M. Uday Bhaskar. I welcome all the eminent speakers and guests from all over the country. from different walks of life who have come to share their knowledge and vast experience with the student community on virtual mode. I cordially welcome our beloved professors, scientific fraternity of our own university and other distinguished universities. It is my pleasure to welcome all the participants from different universities for the 2 days national conference. And a happy welcome to all the press and electronic media and my dear student colleagues. I request all the participating students from different universities to make use these 2 days national conference to enhance your knowledge. This seminar schedule brushes upon a spectrum of exciting and benefiting themes that discuss the aspects of multidimensional approaches of food and nutritional security. Now, I humbly request Dr. A. Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Acharya N.G. Ranga Agricultural University, and President of the National Conference to preside over the inaugural session. Thank you, sir. University song will be played just on students.
ఆంధ్రనాట వెలసినట్టి అధునాతనాలయం అదే అదే మన వ్యవసాయ విశ్వవిద్యాలయం. శిక్షణ బోధన శిక్షణ బోధన పరిశోధనలతో విస్తరణ ఆచరణ ఫలితములతో వీధుల ఎగరేసెను విజయ పతాకం. విశ్వమానవోన్నతియే విజయ రహస్యం. వ్యవసాయ విభాగాల ఆధారిత రంగాన సాంకేతిక శిక్షణతో శాస్త్రీయ సలహాలతో వృత్తిలోన నైపుణ్యం వృద్ధి చేయుటే లక్ష్యం. బోధనతో మేధస్సును పంచడమే ఆశయం. అనుక్షణం పరిశోధన నవ ఫలితపు సాధన. వ్యవసాయం వ్యయం తుంచి సాయం చేయు భావన. ఫలసాయం భూసారం వృద్ధి చేయు యోచన. ప్రతికూలత తొలగించుటే పరిశోధన ఆలోచన. భరత జాతి జగతికి ప్రగతి మార్గమయ్యేలా. ఆంధ్రమాత జాతికంత అన్నపూర్ణ అయ్యేలా. రైతన్నల అభివృద్ధికి పెనుబాటలు వేస్తూ ప్రపంచాన పచ్చదనపు రంగు నింపు నిలయం. ఆంధ్రనాట వెలసినట్టి అధునాతనాలయం అదే అదే మన వ్యవసాయ విశ్వవిద్యాలయం.
I request you, sir, to lightning of the lamp. Dr. DDG, sir, Vishnuvardhan, Honorable Vice VC. Now, I humbly request Dr. A. Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Acharya N.G. Ranga Agricultural University, and President of this National Conference to preside over the inaugural session. Thank you, sir.
Now I request Dr. Ravindranath Reddy to welcome the guests.
Good morning. Good morning to all of you. I'm honored and privileged to extend a warm welcome to everyone assembled here, and as well as to those who are participating in virtual mode in National Postgraduate Conference 2021. On the behalf of Acharya N.G. Ranga Agricultural University, I'm extremely happy to extend warm welcome to the distinguished chief guest for today's conference, Dr. Rakesh Chandra Agarwal Garu, Deputy Director General, Agriculture Education, ICR, and National Director of National Agriculture Higher Education Project, who has vast experience of 30 years in the area of statistics, biodiversity, informatics, and intellectual property rights. Sir, we are all delighted to have your presence on this occasion as the chief guest. I take the privilege in extending warm welcome to the guest of honor, Dr. S. Rajendra Prasad Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor of University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore, who has 30 years of rich and commendable experience in seed technology and responsible for getting a recognition of University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore, as one of the top state agricultural universities in our country. I welcome you, sir. And now it is my great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to our most respected Honorable Vice Chancellor of Acharya N.G. Ranga Agricultural University, Dr. A. Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, whose efforts made our university a quick turnaround from 31st rank to 13th rank at national level among deemed and state agricultural universities, sir. I heartily welcome, sir. I take this opportunity to welcome respected and honorable member, Board of Management of our university, Sri T.V. Murnath Reddy Garu. Hearty welcome, sir. I'm very glad to extend warm welcome to the respected Dean of PG Studies, Dr. D. Balaguruvaya Garu, who is the chairman of today's conference. I extend warm welcome to the most beloved Dean of Agriculture, Dr. A. Pratap Murthy Garu, in this conference. I extend warm welcome to postgrad students from constituent colleges of our university, students of state agriculture universities, teaching faculty of Sri Venkateswara Agriculture College, and students of Veterinary University. I extend a warm welcome to all of you for today's postgrad conference. I once again welcome all of you to this conference. And now I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. A. Vishnuvardhan Reddy, to kindly preside over the function. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ravindranath Reddy Garu. Now I request Dr. Balaguruvaya Garu to give a brief about the conference, please.
Very good morning to all of you. Indeed, it is a great occasion that we have eminent personalities with us, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, and President of today's function, Dr. R.C. Agarwal ji, Deputy Director of Education, ICR, and Chief Guest of this function, Dr. Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, Dr. Rajendra Prasad Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, ES Bangalore, distinguished guest, and keynote speaker, Dr. T.V. Muralinath Reddy Garu, Honorable Member, Board of Management of Acharya N.G. Ranga Agriculture University, my colleague University Officer, Dr. Pratap Kumar Reddy, Dean of Agriculture, and other university officers, Dr. B. Ravindranath Reddy, Associate Dean, SV Agriculture College, Tirupati, Dr. Karuna Sagar, Professor and Head and Organizing Secretary of this same conference, Dr. P.V. Satyagopal, Professor and Head, Co-Organizing Secretary, and Ms. Murdula Vasudeva Rao and Mr. Uday Banu, Student Organizing Secretaries, and my dear students, faculty. Once again, a very good morning to all of you. and warm welcome to this conference. Indeed, this is a fourth conference in sequence, and this is the second one at this campus. The main purpose of this conference is that according to UN report on state food security and nutrition in the world, 14% of Indian population is undernourished. Thinking about providing good nutrition is the best investment in human capital. The theme, multi-dimensional approaches for sustaining food and nutritional security, is chosen for this conference. This conference is planned for 2 days, that is today and tomorrow, with 5 sub-themes. One is that one, resource conservation technologies for enhancing crop productivity, strategies for crop improvement for food and nutritional security, natural and microbiome natural enemies, recent strategies in plant health management, new dimensions and trends in social sciences linking farm to table, and innovative approaches and engineering interventions in pre and post-harvest technologies. Eminent scientists all over the country are been identified as lead speakers in these technical sessions for each sub-theme, besides presentations by the postgraduate students, both in oral and poster. As many as 580 postgraduate students have registered for this conference, sir, and out of them 443 students sent their abstracts, and across the different universities, that is more than 40 state agriculture universities, deemed universities, and other institutes, to name a few, other than our Acharya Engineering Agriculture University, students from PJTCAU, YSR Horticulture University, TNAU, Coimbatore, US Bangalore, US Dharwad, US Raichur, US Shimoga, UNKM Parbhani, Sri Venkateswara University, Padmavati Mahila University, Birla Institute of Research, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi, Assam Agriculture University, Kerala University, and many other universities. These are some of the universities, to name a few, from where the students are being participating in this conference. This conference is mainly aimed to orient PG students to expose them to the topic of latest developments in agricultural research, to develop the skills and also to develop skills in organizing scientific events such as these conferences, and to fine-tune the research, paper writing and presentation skills in the scientific forums, and to equip the students with professionalism to face current challenges in agriculture and find workable solutions. So I wish this conference provides a platform to the PG students to exchange their ideas and experiences in conducting research in a fruitful manner. I feel that young minds have enormous potential and also immense talent, but only they need a proper reorientation and proper guidance from the teachers, from all of us. So our Vice Chancellor, sir, Dr. Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, is a source of inspiration to all of us in organizing such conferences and also in other many activities, who always thinks about improving the quality in education and research in the university system, and inculcating a sense of responsibility among students, community, and also faculty as well. Under his guidance, several initiatives are brought within a short period of time, such as identifying expertise across the institutes in and abroad, and inviting them to teach students, take classes online and offline, and also providing opportunities to the students to conduct their research work in reputed institutes with their scientists as major advisors, sending PG students to participate in the training programs in their areas of research, implementation of anti-plagiarism policy, incentives to those who publish their work in highly narrated journals, and organizing conferences for the benefit of the students, and so on. These are the few initiatives taken up in a short span of time of our Vice Chancellor. And I request all the student community to pursue their goals and take the advantage of these initiatives and come up with flying colors in bringing sustainable food and nutritional security to the people of our country. In this context, I congratulate the Associate Dean, Dr. Ravindranath Reddy, and his staff and students for organizing this conference in a befitting manner, and I wish this conference a grand success. I thank Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for giving me this opportunity and organizing this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Balgaroy Garu. Now I request Dr. Muralinath Reddy Garu, Honorable Member, Board of Management, our Acharya Agriculture University.
Good morning to all of you. Today's chief guest, Dr. R.C. Agarwal, DDG, Education, IGR, President of today's inaugural function, Dr. A. Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, distinguished guest, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Organizing Chairman, Dr. Balaguravaya, University Officers, National Conference, Organizing Committee members, and Student Organizing Secretaries. I extended my wholehearted congratulations for choosing such a good topic for the National Conference in combating malnutrition and hunger in our country through agriculture commodities. As per the World Resource Report 2018, the food gap is estimated to be 7,400 trillion calories, which is 56% more crop calories than the present estimate to meet the hunger for the next 30 years to go. The food production, meat hunger, and malnutrition in our country is considered as moderately low. 264 million women are anemic, 52 million children are low weight, 155 million children are stunted in growth in the globe, out of which 44.2 million children are from our country with underweight. As per the UNICEF 2017 data, among the world developing countries, India stood top with the highest number of hungry people. Hence, quality food in terms of quality and quantity needed for us. Quantity in terms of weight, quality in terms of diverse nutrition from vegetables, fruits, whole grains, plant-based proteins, food are needed. Hence, supplementation of agriculture sources of food is the primary source of approach for the food and nutritional security. Green Revolution has brought the poor man food and nutritional security. Now, all the scientists must think of quality food production in order to meet the nutritional security. Nutritional security means balanced diet with all major macro and micro nutrients along with protein and energy factors. Eco-friendly agriculture, sustainable agriculture without depletion of natural resources is another dimension of approach. Organic farming is promising one in this regard. The productivity of land is the main concern in the context of shrinkage of land and water resources. Hopefully, the scientists will focus on the issue of enhancement of farmers' income per unit area of land. I request the Scientist Forum to brainstorm on the farming policy and acts proposed by the Union government and supplement the scientific data to avoid the conflicts in this. I am happy to be in the AP government under the leadership of Sri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, who is working on the lines of providing the sufficient food and nutritional security to the below poverty line masses, and also bringing a lot of reforms in agriculture production, including MSP and input subsidies to the farming activities. I wish the forum shall bring out a draft policy on the multi-dimensional role on agriculture in combating the malnutrition and hunger in the country. Special thanks to Sri Pratap Kumar Reddy Garu, Dean Acharya Angru, B. Ravindranath Reddy, AD, Agriculture College, Tirupati, V. Karnasagar Garu, Satyagopal Garu, Dr. Kayim Garu, and their team. Thank you.
Reddy Garu. Now I request Dr. Pratap, Dean of Agriculture.
Good morning, all. President of today's conference and our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Acharya Engineering Agriculture University, Dr. A. Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu. Chief guest for this function, Dr. Rakesh Chandra Agarwal Garu, DDG, ICR New Delhi, and other guests, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, VS Bangalore, Dr. S. Rajendra Prasad Garu, my colleague Balagaravaya Garu, PG Dean, Associate Dean Ravindranath Reddy Garu, Karnasagar, Organizer Secretary and student organizers, and student participants present here and joined online. Welcome to you all. Today, this postgraduate national conference is being organized by the students and for the students. Since this is for the students, I begin with a question. What is a conference? Why should one attend an academic conference? And what's its role? Since most of the students are joined freshly in the MSc AG after completion of the graduation, I'm just keeping you people in view and posing this question. You may be knowing the meaning. To confer means to converse, to discuss your ideas, and the conference is a meeting place to seek the clarifications or any kind of your academic doubts. Coming to its role, these are being held by all the universities across the country. This particular one, especially for the students, here also, the students are the organizers, only the staff members are the mentors. They are guiding the students how to arrange each and everything, how to organize, how to invite. Everything is done by the students with the backing of the staff here, unlike the normal scientific conferences. So the idea is to motivate you people to bring out the best presentation skills from you, to meet people, to share your ideas, seek clarifications, and develop some kind of rapport, goodwill, and have continuous linkage, contact. Let me cite a few advantages. Exchange of ideas is foremost one. Conference encourages exchange of ideas and opinions. Delegates bring together their point of view, which help to solve the problems. Second one is solving the problems. In a conference, participants provide all the angles in analyzing problems, and various solutions are suggested from which a comprehensive solution can be accepted. Third one is improving the internal communications. By involving a large number of participants from various levels within an organization or from different organizations, it facilitates communication and networking. Fourth one is motivation of the participants. The motivational value of a conference can never be underestimated. The participants acquire valuable information and come to know other people's point of view. This broadens the horizon of delegates regarding organizational needs and problems. And the fifth one, promoting goodwill. Conference helps to create goodwill among the participating organizations. It also helps to enhance the reputation of the organization convening the conference. These are the main advantages. There are small inconveniences. I may not call those as disadvantages. Let me say it one or two, please. Lack of seriousness. Often conferences are not taken seriously. The participants do not take interest in the proceedings, but consider it as a pleasure trip. I'm not applying this to all. A few people think like that. Second one is, if the conference is not properly organized, or if the delegates are not cooperative, it creates confusion and the whole exercise will turn into an unsuccessful activity. So only these two small inconveniences, let me not call them as disadvantages. These things are common. I'm sure that this two-day conference will bring out the presentation skills of the students. I extend my warm greetings for the success of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pratap Kumar Reddy. Good morning to one and all. Respected Dr. R.C. Agarwal Saab, my friend, my senior, my guide, Deputy Director General, Education, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, who is the most dynamic and who is responsible for phenomenal improvement with respect to educational system in the country, agricultural education system in the country, who is coordinating agriculture education system in our country. Being at the headquarters, there was a tremendous progress, revolutionary changes brought in by Dr. Agarwal Saab as DDG Education. I am extremely honored to welcome you for today's function, sir, and all our students, staff, faculty, everyone will have the benefit of his presence today. And also equally important person, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, GKVK Campus, University of Agriculture Sciences, Bangalore, who is another most towering personality in Indian agriculture, because seed is most important. We all know that seed is the most important for our farmer. And he has led the Indian seed program for 5 years, being the director, Indian Institute of Seed Science, MAU. He has coordinated the seed program at national level, not only ICR and also all the university system. And there was a tremendous progress. There were several initiatives, ICR seed program, mega seed project, several changes were brought in, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad sir, being at the most difficult place near Varanasi, and he has coordinated the seed program. And today, now he is head of the research, teaching and extension in one of the most prestigious agriculture universities, US, Bangalore, in Karnataka. We welcome you once again, sir. Now, my Dr. T.V. Muralinath Reddy Garu, our Honorable Member, Board of Management, Acharya Enjiranga Agriculture University. Always he is a source of encouragement, inspiration for all of us in our university, being the Board of Management member. And also Dr. Balagaruve Garu, actually who is responsible, he is the overall coordinator of this most important program for this today's program. And I sincerely thank Balagaruve Garu for taking, in spite of COVID-19 difficulties, actually we are opening all the classes, everything offline from 8th. But in spite of that, because of his efforts and all, his inspiration and all, I am extremely happy. All the students, several students are participating in this program. Thank you very much. Equally, Dr. Pratap Kumar Reddy, Dean Agriculture Sciences, and he has taken a lot of interest in organizing this program. And Dr. Ravindranath Reddy, who is the local organizing secretary, Dr. Ravindranath Reddy, Associate Dean of this college, Dr. Sagar, Dr. Kayyum Muhammad, and also student representatives. I am extremely happy that students have taken part. It is their own function actually. And Mrs. Mrudula, Vasudev Rao, and I think Uday Bhaskar. And I thank all of you for conducting this program so successfully. And I invite one and all for this program. And all the faculty members, university officers, students, representatives, and several people, each one of you attending this most important function, I welcome, and also the press and media. And I welcome all of you to this students' conference being organized for these 2 days. And really, I appreciate all the people involved in organizing this today's function. And thank you very much. We all know that just a brief introduction I'll give for this program of Indian agriculture and our own state programs or university. And we all know that our agriculture sector is one of the most important sector. There was a tremendous progress as far as agriculture production, productivity is concerned in our country. So food grain production has increased from 50 million tons to today's record production of 295 million tons. It's a record, great contribution from all agriculture scientists, of course, coordinated by Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and a great contribution continuously for the last 4 years. There is a record production, food grain production, and almost more than nearly 6 times food grain production we have achieved after independence, a great contribution. And not only in food grain production, and in horticulture, again a record production of 320 million tons of in horticulture production from just about 25.6 or 25.7 million hectares of land. And milk if you see, again several times of growth with respect to milk production. Today, our country, we are producing about 195 million tons of milk. I think almost 20% of the world milk production, 22% we are producing in this country. And also fish, we are #1 in the country with about 13.5 million tons. So whatever the agriculture and allied sectors we have taken, so there is a tremendous progress in our country. So with respect to its growth, per capita availability, with respect to everything. And of course, in spite of this, there are several problems, and I have forgotten. So we used to introduce import pulses and oil seeds. So in the last 2-3 years, we got another milestone in our Indian agriculture is self-sufficiency in pulses production also. Now we are producing about 23 to 24 million tons of pulses, and we are self-sufficient in pulses. But only deficiencies with respect to oil seeds, we are importing about 60% of edible oils. We are dependent and spending about 70,000 crores on foreign exchange for importing edible oil. 60% we are importing, spending about 70,000 crores, which is a big challenge for all of us, how to reduce the imports and increase the indigenous production of these vegetable oil seed crops and vegetable oils. And if you see, in spite of this successful production, increase in agriculture production, in spite of production in 295 million tons of food grain production, still we need to produce, in order to meet the increasing population, we need to produce continuously, annually about 6 million tons of food grains we need to produce continuously in order to feed our population. Growing population. We all know that shrinking resources, increasing population, environment, actually production system, soil factors, and degradation of biodiversity and changing climate. All these are the major challenges. In spite of this, with the experience of the past experience in the technology development, in the all our past experience, we need to prepare action plan for how best we can increase or further the production and productivity in our country and farmers' income. The major, most important thing is how best we can increase the farmers' income. That is the most important thing, as all of you know that our Honorable Prime Minister has given a clarion call, but how to double in order to increase, we have to increase double the farmers' income by 2022, for which entire our scientific community, policymakers all are working, and this is one of the greatest challenge in order to meet food and nutritional security in our country in spite of the several challenges. And you know that another most important thing is, if you see the exports and imports, and total imports are 42 lakh crores in our country. Total imports are 42 lakh crores, but agriculture imports are just 1.4 lakh crores. It is just about 3%. Imports are 3% of total imports in our country. If you see the exports are 24 lakh crores. Total exports are 24 lakh crores, but agriculture exports are 2.5 lakh crores. That is nearly 11 or 12%, very between 11 to 12% of the agriculture exports are 12% of our total exports, and agriculture imports are 3% of total imports. So this is the contribution of agriculture sector in our country, the contribution of all scientists, policymakers, and farmers in our country. That is the status. In spite of this, there is every need of further increasing production, productivity. As I said, the farmers' income, that is the most important thing. And today, if you see the national per capita, for household income of agriculture family in the country, in the national level, a farm family income is per month, it is 6,426 rupees. I repeat, actually 6,426 rupees is the agriculture family income on an average at national level. So maybe 4 or 10 persons in a family, a farming family income at national level is 6,426. So that is the status of our Indian farmer. So monthly income is 6,400 rupees. So how actually to run his family, medication, education of his children, everything. This is the each one of us, we have to think, and most of us are from agriculture families, how best we can increase, we support the farmer to increase the farmer's income. So within the country, it varies from 18,000 rupees in Punjab, 14,000 rupees in Haryana, and Meghalaya it is 11,000, and mostly if it is lowest is I think Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, and Orissa, it is around 4,000 rupees. Family income is 4,000 rupees, the greatest challenge actually. I think if you see any employment, the lowest employee will not get less than 10,000 rupees a single person, but a farmer's family's per month income is 6,000 rupees. So this we have to understand, and actually being agriculture, we are all fortunate to have into this profession, and I congratulate all of you, the students, staff members, and working for the development and for supporting our own farmer. We all know that in Indian agriculture, 57% of families, our population, for livelihood, they are dependent on agriculture. And for GDP contribution is 14.5 to 15% of GDP is from agriculture. So this is the importance, and as I said, our concern is how best we can increase the farmers' income and to feed the population, to have the sustainability by increasing the food grain production and whether it is food grain production, agriculture, and allied sectors. And as a students, because this is the students' conference, and the most important thing is nowadays actually, at least I studied from my BSc Agriculture from 80 batch, 84. In the last 40 years, all of us, we know that we have been conducting research in spite of several the technologies developed from our university or all over the country. And we have reached a stage actually wherein actually we have to think innovative. We have to think innovative, especially this conference is for students. It is not for a routine. For example, for students, I appeal to all the students actually, it is not to read just for getting a class or just to get the pass marks. not to get a pass or a class marks. We have to understand the things, we have to get the understand the subject and what are the challenges in agriculture. So each crop, each state, every farmer, they have several problems in our Indian agriculture. From seed to seed, from plowing to harvesting, processing, marketing, everywhere actually there are several challenges and problems. All of the, from student level itself, you need to understand, read, and you discuss with your staff members, friends, seniors, colleagues, and that's why actually I've been encouraging all my staff members to as much as collaborative lectures, webinars, all these things may be organized in this university. And quality of education, I request all the students, not only your coursework, whether it's agronomy or plant breeding, all this syllabus, you have to understand the agriculture scenario in the state or country or world, what is happening, and where we are lacking, how best we can improve. Take any subject, as a crop improvement, as a plant breeder, as a scientist or student, especially in PG research, when we are doing PG research, not just for completing a PG, MSc or PhD thesis, you study what are the major problems. Take, for example, rice or animal husbandry or horticulture. At what stage we are, what are the problems in a particular district or state. You try to understand, you learn, and then you have to understand. Then accordingly, you plan your programs for your research and have suggestions from your own teachers, and you can have collaborations, you can discuss with all over the country, wherever you want. Now, actually, I requested all my deans and directors in the university, so give quality education to the children, especially in PG, especially in advanced sector, biotechnology or such courses, to have at least 3/4 of your syllabus, whether it is a 2+1 course where 32 classes are there, at least 25 classes can be with the best faculty all over the country. We have identified, for example, biotechnology, 50 faculty, including, I wanted to request our Honorable DG Saab, whenever it is possible to address our students all over the university, our DDG Saab, we identified 50 top biotechnologists in the country, and we are requesting all these people, because COVID-19 courtesy, now we are used to online classes, so that the quality of education, children should know the best quality of education we should give to the children. And similarly, the research actually, whether it's MSc or PhD, now we are, I requested again all my deans and directors, they can work after completion of this coursework. They can work all over the world, wherever there are best facilities available depending on the interest, and that we will facilitate. And by signing with appropriate MOUs, we will allow all the students to work all over the world, so that the actually quality of education and quality of research will improve. Tomorrow, we will be generating the best quality human resources with respect to agriculture, education and research from this university, and for that we are working. And today Honorable DD's education is here, so this is for information, sir. We will try our best, and at the same time requesting the whatever possible support from the council for the benefit of wherever it is possible, for the benefit of all our students and staff members. And students, and especially while conducting PG research, I think many of you must have seen the videos of our Honorable His Excellency former President, our APJ Abdul Kalam. He always says that an innovative, think innovative, whenever he addresses the students, whether engineering or any other faculty, think innovative, new technologies. You think, read, think as much as possible, and discuss, understand, and come with innovative technology which is adaptable, useful, and cost economic. A technology which we are developing, whether it is student research or scientific research, a technology which we are generating, it should be intellectually satisfying and economically feasible or rewarding, because our clientele is the farmers, and it should be convenient for its adoption by the farmers. So I appeal to all the students and faculty members, actually, not just for completing your MSc or PhD thesis, Each research program, what we are aiming, you please think, read what is the situation. As I said, from seeding to harvesting, there are several programs in different crops and different areas. And whether it is you see today, if it is labor intensive agriculture, so shortage of labor. So we need to address the problem, organic agriculture, mechanization, marketing, and the most important problem is, and the farmer is not getting the market price, remunerative price. How to increase the, whether it is social scientists or crop improvement, production and protection scientists and agriculture engineers, we can have collaborations. We are also trying to develop as many linkages as possible with national, international organizations. Already we have signed with 2 organizations to have collaborations with nanotechnology, artificial intelligence, robotics and sensor technology and this type of things. Actually, all this from PG research itself, you have to think, we must understand each and every student when we are proposing a research project, of course, will be approved by your all this procedure, finally approved by PG Dean. Something, even it is a small, to address a smallest problem, let us think whatever research we are doing so that it addresses a problem and develop a best technology which is useful with a quality publication, and as even it is the smallest aspect to address the farmer's problem. So that actually, if entire human resources in agriculture, education and research, if we can each and every project and comes out with a quality research paper or a best useful technology, that will be very much useful for the progress of the agriculture sector in this country. This is for information, and all areas actually there is tremendous opportunities, huge large opportunities in this agriculture sector, and to have linkages and all. I request all of you to apply your mind. Please study the problems. Just think that it is not routine type of MSc or PhD. Please see to address any of the problems. So please think innovative and develop innovative technology so that it helps the farmer to give the best technology, which gives the, so that it is adaptable to the farmer and it gives the income, improvement of the income level to the farmer, which is the lowest in our country. And that's why I request actually be innovative so that it helps our farmer. Just with, I'll conclude with one example. I will tell you. Example, if you take our total rice area in this country, 42 to 44 million hectares of entire rice area in our country, if because of our technologies, if a farmer at national level, if we can increase 1 quintal, if we can increase 1 quintal per acre productivity of rice in the country in 1 year, which that means in 42 million hectares, so additional income, additional monetary benefit entire national level will be 20,000 crores. So that's why actually the monetization of the technologies what we are developing and giving to the farmer. And if we can increase 1 quintal per acre in paddy, it is not very, very difficult, provided if you give the best technologies. So it adds annually 20,000 crores of rupees at national level. So with so many crops, so many sectors, horticulture, fisheries, milk, animal husbandry, if you think like this, how, so there is a huge scope for further improvement, progress with respect to agriculture sector, farmers' income, and total contribution of GDP or national level income. So with this actually, so I congratulate one and all once again for your participation in this thing, in this students conference, and I thank all the organizers once again for making a wonderful, successful event, this conference. And I wish all my student friends, you please think, and we have to help the farmer, we have to help this country, and also in the process, actually, our university will progress, individually we will progress. So with this, I thank you very much and wish you all the best. Thank you. Request Manisha to introduce our honorable guest today, Dr. Agarwal sir. Yeah? Okay, I'm sorry. Now Well, 2-3 publications are there. Now we release the publications from the hands of our guests.
Good morning to everyone. Now it's time for the release of publications. First of all, I request Dr. R.C. Agarwal Garu, Deputy Director General, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, New Delhi, to release Compendium of National Conference. Now I request Dr. S. Rajendra Prasad Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, UAS Bangalore, to release Anglo PG research highlights. Now I request Sri Murali Natha Reddy Garu, Member, Board of Management, Angrew, to release Compendium of Activities undertaken in Institutional Development Plan, IDP. May I now invite Dr. B. Rupesh Kumar Reddy, Assistant Professor, Department of Genetics and Plant Breeding, SV Agriculture College, Tirupati, who have prepared a booklet on a ready reckoner for ICAR AEEE PG JRF entrance examination. This booklet, Now I request Dr. A. Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Angrew, Guntur, to release the booklet.
Dr. Manisha to introduce our honorable guest.
A very pleasant morning to the respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It gives me immense pleasure and great sense of joy to welcome and introduce the chief guest of today's function, Dr. Rakesh Chandra Agarwal ji, the Deputy Director General, Agricultural Education and National Director, National Agriculture Higher Education Project. Having completed his doctoral degree from IRI in the year 1989 on regression analysis with survey data, he further pioneered in the field of PGR information, documentation and dissemination, which resulted in the creation of National Information Network of PGR, that is called as NISM in India. He served under various capacities, making significant contributions to the field of statistics, biodiversity, and intellectual property rights. and as a Registrar General has done commendable illustrious work by motivating farmers and making them submit more than 10,000 applications for seeking intellectual property rights on their varieties. Having 30 years of experience in research, he has subsequently published more than 40 articles and authored 7 books. To his credit, he has received Dr. M.S. Randhwa Award of NAS for outstanding contributions in agricultural administration, transfer of technology, and social sciences. Another prestigious Digital India Award conferred by President of India, that is Dr. B.R. Barwale National Award for the Excellence in Plant Genetic Resources, and also achieved Lifetime Achievement Awards from Community Mobilization for Sustainable Development and Aligarh Muslim University. And many more laurels like Fellow of National Academy of Agriculture Sciences, UP Academy of Agriculture Sciences, International Society of Noni Sciences, Indian Society of Plant Genetic Resources, and many more. Recently, in 2018, the Food and Agriculture Organization elected Dr. Agarwal to head a technical experts group on farmers' rights for its implementation in 146 countries, and he is presently the Vice Chair of Asian Region of Bureau of International Treaty of Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture, and also convener for implementation of New Educational Policy 2020 in agricultural education. Sir, your zeal to venture out into novel or unexplored areas which have greater potential relevance is exceptionally exemplary as role models to all of us. Now I request our beloved chief guest of today's function to share his expertise onto the dais. Please, sir.
Thank you, madam, for the introduction. It's a matter of triple pleasure today. The first one is that I'm attending a program which is oriented for the students. The second is that we are sitting in the holy place, and this conference has been organized in a city which is a dream for all to visit. And third, I'm sharing the dais with my two old friends, two old colleagues, whom I know for more than 30 years. So thank you, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Vishnu Vardhan Reddy ji, for inviting me for this important conference and for holding this conference for the PG students. Really, it's a matter of great pride for all of us to have such kind of conference. Honorable Vice Chancellor of US Bangalore, one of the another prestigious university, agriculture university in India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad ji. I see on the dais the member of board, Dr. Murlinath Reddy, Dr. Pratap Reddy, Dr. Rabindranath Reddy, Dr. Balagutova. I see many senior colleagues here in the audience, the senior faculty, the students, and all our colleagues who are joining online for this program. Friends, as I told you, it's really a matter of great pride. So first of all, I want to congratulate all of you for joining for this and for all your efforts which you have put to organize this important conference for the students. I know conducting such conference in such a difficult time is not easy job. It's really a very difficult job, but having so many persons joining in physical mode and joining online mode So it's a hybrid mode, a new normal, which has been now accepted by all of us. So it's really a great moment. And this university needs all kind of compliments for this. So thank you, Dr. Reddy, for your all efforts. Thank you very much. Friends, as you know, we have a lot of challenges now, and especially the topic chosen for this conference for the students, the multi-dimensional approaches for sustaining food and nutrition security. So we have to always think in the multi-dimension. Don't go in the unidirection. So this word multi-dimensional approaches, really, it's again a very good thought you have given for this. One of the like multi-dimensional approach only, I'll just tell you. When I took over the responsibility of Deputy Director General, there was a great wall between the traditional universities and the agricultural universities. The traditional universities never used to recognize that agriculture also is one of the education system. It was very tough time, because the day I took over, there was some circular about the sports facilities being created in the universities. But that circular never came to any one of our agricultural universities. And no circular is being issued, which is issued from Ministry of Education or UGC. Generally, it is not coming to the agricultural universities. So, because we are not thinking in the multi-dimension. Now, recently what I have done, with the support of our all vice chancellors, and just last week, I delivered a lecture in the conference of the traditional university vice chancellor, where I explained what is this agriculture education system, what this agriculture education has given to the country. Today, in this difficult period of COVID, everybody has realized the importance of agriculture education, the agriculture in general, because there was nothing in the related to the food was in short. No shortage of any kind of thing, whether it's the egg, milk, food grains, or meat, or any kind of thing you take. But how it has come in the last, after independence, in the last 70 years, how we attained all this. So that means some great efforts have gone by our great visionaries through the agriculture education system, through our research system, through our extension system. So that means it is a very strong system, because it is based on the land grant pattern system. And you know, the first university created under the land grant pattern was the Pantnagar University. And the basic fundamental of the land grant pattern is that you have to have the three components: research, education, and extension integrated. You cannot take one system out of this, then the whole agriculture system will be weakened. And that is the strength which it has shown in the food sufficiency, as Dr. Reddy was giving, Honorable Vice Chancellor was giving the figures, how we have now the sufficient food quantities in any field you see. 48 times more egg production now we have got since independence. How this 48 times has come? So how you have encouraged the through policy interventions, through research, through education, and the 4 world food laureates have been from India, who have been alumni of our agriculture education system. So these are the great contributions. Now, in that series only, we also want to see that how the students who are sitting here, they are our future Swaminathan, how they are our future visionaries. So the topic, the multi-dimension, the students have to think in many directions, not only the food product, the nutritional security. You have to, at the same time, keep in mind the sustainability of the system. So that's what we say, green to evergreen kind of thing. So that's why I was complimenting that we have to really think in the ecosystem, multi-dimensional system. How we can go for the multi-dimension from the unidirectional. So for that, we are really putting a lot of efforts. If you see the new education policy also, it addresses many of these issues. And we are going to have one roadmap where we are trying that the students should become the entrepreneurs. Already we have a lot of inbuilt programs at the UG level, but now at PG level also we are trying. And I'm happy to inform you, Honorable Dias, that the broad subject matter area committee recommendations have come, where now we are proposing many new things. Like we are proposing, I'm using the word proposing because until unless it is approved by the competent authority, this doesn't become the procedure. Like in MSc, one of your guide can become from the industry side also. So that, like the topic of today's, so that you think in multi-direction, what is exactly required by the industry. It is not only that your research guide, whatever he tells, is sufficient. Just about 2 months back, we were asked by the Prime Minister office that can you give us the figure that how many research by the students have been done, either at MSc level or PhD level, in the areas of national interest, like your doubling farmers' income, your more crops per drop, your 5 trillion economy, or many other topics you can see. And because we have a database of all the PhD theses from 1946 till date, and we could collect, and the figures were very interesting and very encouraging. We could have, we could submit a data of around 300 such topics where the research on the national priority has been undertaken by our students. But this number needs to be further increased now by making a lot of changes in our PG program also. Just 4 days back, we organized a sensitization and interactive session with the students at the national level. And we got the feedback from the students that what they are looking for exactly in the implementation of this new education policy in our agricultural university system. And many students, they were suggesting that the workload for the PhD students, the coursework should be reduced, and many such kind of things. And whatever they were suggesting, I just told that all these points have been already included in our BSMA recommendations. We are going to reduce the coursework, and we are going to give to the students the teaching assistantship. So now, whosoever is interested in taking the classes, so the problem of, they will not be independent teachers, they will work with some regular teacher, but they can learn more if you are involved in the teaching. For teaching 1 hour class, you have to study, I think, more than 8 hours. And you will be more thorough on that. So by getting the opportunity for getting a certificate also in your transcript that you have been associated for teaching such and such subjects, I think you become more perfect. You become more knowledgeable. Okay? And you know how to teach the students. So many such kind of things we are going to incorporate. Very soon you will be having those recommendations. And we are trying to deliver the National Education Policy Roadmap also. I've already circulated, I think 4 days back, to all the Vice Chancellors with the request that they must have a one-to-one session with the students in their respective universities, with the faculty, and they can discuss that these are the points suggested by the committee. do you want any change, or do you want to have any new ideas so that we can incorporate? And my target is that within this month, we will submit it to the Honorable Agriculture Minister for the kind approval. And then we are going to have a meeting with the Education Minister also for its possible implementation by calling the education ministers of all these states. And then only it becomes very easy to implement those points, whatever we have suggested. One of the point which comes is generally, which has been reflected in GER also, is about the GER. In NEP also, you must see, there is a one point. They say that the agriculture universities, they form 9% of the total universities. We have around 980 universities in India, out of which 74 universities, they are teaching agriculture. So they say you are having 9% around the total strength, but your student enrollment is only 1%. So you need to increase from 1% to your proportionate share. So that means at least 9% of the total students. In India, we have around 13 crore students, 13 crore population, who is from the age of 18 to 23, which qualifies for the higher education. So if you take the percentage of that who is qualifying for the higher education, that means 18 to 23. And we have around 3.5 crore students in the higher education. And out of that, if you see the total strength, around 2 lakh students we have in our agriculture university system. The intake is around 47,000. So now our challenge is, can we every year increase 10% student intake in all the universities? That we have to see. Just I was calculating one statistics last week, and we could find that the student teacher ratio in our agriculture universities is perfect. 1:10 average value. 1:10 is required as per the minimum standards, and 1:10 is there. But the variability is too much. Variability starts from 1:2.4. Indian Agriculture Research Institute, many of you are the student from IARI. It has the best student teacher. So that means for every 2.4 student, there is a teacher available. So there is a lot of scope to increase the gross enrollment ratio to make it 1:10. They can take a lot of students. But what is the limitation then? The limitation is that you don't have so many hostels. You don't have so many residential requirements. So one of the recommendations we are proposing now in the new education policy roadmap is that can we relax the requirement of this residential compulsion in our agriculture university system, like it is there in the other traditional universities. You can have some, you can be as a paying guest, you can be in a rented accommodation, or we can exempt at least the local students who are from the same city, they can come from their homes. But presently it is not. Even in Delhi IARI, even the students who belong to Indrapuri, they are also asked, no, you have to shift to the hostel, you cannot reside in your own house. So that way we can increase. The second point, which people generally do not understand, and I request both the Honorable Vice Chancellors, though I am going to flag this issue in the Vice Chancellor conference being called this month. We have to understand what is the gross enrollment ratio. Okay. As I told you, we have to understand the whole statistics. Then we are doing a lot of training programs through KBKs and other things. But if you do all those training programs through the enrollment of the university, then it is counted as part of the GR. Generally, if a KBK is doing 3 months, 4 months training program, it is not done through the registrar. Okay. So if you like, I'll give my own example. I went for a small training, 12 days training in 1997 to Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. and still I am their alumni. For 12 days, they admitted me as an alumni. So why we cannot admit them as an alumni, make it through university enrollment, and then just say that your enrollment ratio has increased? And we are doing so many training programs, but we are not counted for, and we are always blamed that your GR is very less. You are not training as much persons as you are supposed to do. So it is just our idea, but we have to get the feedback from the vice chancellors, whether we can do it or not. Similarly, whether we can have a combined exam, that also I was just discussing with both the vice chancellors yesterday. So there are many issues which we want to discuss, but we have to see what ultimately happens. As it was being, I think today, one of the publications we have seen relates to the Institutional Development Plan, IDP, which is a very important component of our NEHEP, National Agricultural Higher Education Project. And under IDP, it's really a very good support we have given to around 18 universities. Total, we have supported 58 universities in India. And under IDP, if you see, you will not find in any traditional university, and this I explained in front of the traditional universities also, even one single student is costing us up to 20 lakh rupees. We have told you can send these students to the best of the best university anywhere in the world. Till date, around 450 students have been sent abroad. Last year, we could not send because of this COVID. So the overall idea is that they become more imaginative, they become more creative and more innovative. They get best to best experience by interacting with the best faculty across the world. And similarly, we are promoting the foreign faculty also to come to India and be here for maybe a month's period or 2 months period and interact with the students and the faculty. So slowly we are seeing the results, and I think, Dr. Reddy, you must have received one document which recently we have developed, one compilation of the students' feedback, 450 students' feedback, how they have appreciated their foreign trainings. And I could share that document with the Niti Aayog and with the UGC chairman, and I got a very good appreciation letter from the UGC chairman that it is an eye-opener for them that the agricultural universities are doing such a wonderful work. My compliments to each one of you. So that's what I initiated in my talk, that we have to remove that wall. We have to share our documents beyond our agriculture education system. Let us share with Niti Aayog, let us share with UGC, let us share with Ministry of Education, so that let them understand that what is our strength, so that they also need to support us for our overall growth. And I think with the support of all of you, we will be getting the good success in that. Then if you see about the Sustainable Development Goals, I think you all know it also has a very good component related to the food security and nutrition security. And it's a great responsibility, because out of those 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which is responsibility for each and every citizen to complete by 2030. And out of 17, more than 70% of these goals, they relate to agriculture only. Be it in the form of education, be it in the form of sustainability, be it in the form of food security, any kind of thing. So the agriculture education system or agriculture system has more responsibility in attaining these sustainable development goals. And in that, we have 169 associated targets also. And if you see those targets, then the majority of them belong to the agriculture. So we have the great responsibility, and especially our PG students, they have the great responsibility to accomplish and to getting those achieved by the target date, that is 2030. Friends, if you see the the sustainable food system, the topic, again, I come back to the topic. I spoke about the multidimensional, so it has to be multidimensional. But we have to also understand what is the sustainable food system. Again, whether it's a unidirectional or it's a multidimensional, that also we have to understand. So the sustainable food system is the one which delivers food security and nutrition for all in such a way that the economic, social and environmental basis to generate food security and nutrition for future generations and that are not compromised. So it is not only providing the nutrition security, but it is to ensure that economic, social and environmental bases are maintained. We cannot do anything at the cost of environment. You know the biodiversity, how important role the biodiversity also plays in the nutritional security. You know, very disturbing figures that 75% of our agro-biodiversity we have already lost. In rice itself, when I was working as a Registrar General in the production of plant varieties and Farmers' Rights Authority, and according to my present engagement also with the Food and Agriculture Organization as a chair of 2 committees. So those figures are really very disturbing. So if you see the rice in India, at one point of time, because rice is considered as one of the center of, India is considered as one of the center of origin for this. So at one point of time, we had around 1.25 lakh kind of varieties. But today we are left with only 25,000 varieties. And out of 25,000 also, how many we are maintaining presently? Let's say again, in PPFR, I think most 70% of the varieties which were registered were only the rice by the farmers. And we had a really a great drive for this. But what I'm trying to say is that we have to secure the genetic pool for our nutritional and food security. If any disease, like presently we are all facing this corona, okay, COVID. Now, any such thing also can emerge, can also come for the plants. In past, there are several examples. In rice, you know, stunt virus came in 1970, I think. And then from where they could get genes, registered genes to make that variety resistant to that particular virus attack. So we are also supposed to be equally concerned about the genetic pool by maintaining our agro-biodiversity or in general biodiversity, our ecosystem. And that education also has to go with the students. We are making some compulsory courses for this, and already the students are showing their interest in this particular area. But still we have to see that how best we can go for this particular thing. In sustainable food system development, sustainability is examined holistically. You cannot take based on one single point. You have to go for the holistic approach. There are many other points which we have to keep in mind. We have one of our experts here, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who will give more insights into this. I'm not an expert for this. Presently, I am dealing with the education. So I just told that how through education system we are trying to take care of all these points, and how more and more such conferences we can conduct in the future. But again, my compliments to this university for improving their rank from 31st to 13th, a big jump. And this cannot happen without the support of each and every point. This time it was a big challenge for me to have this ranking during the COVID period. The judges, the experts, they were from different parts of country. To ask them physically to Delhi and to ask all the universities to submit the physical papers was really a tough time. I cannot ask Dr. Rajendra Prasad, please submit a document of 1200 pages. Minimum page, I could see the last records. Minimum pages were 1000, 1200. Every university was making volumes and volumes. And then you see the task of those experts who have to go through those documents and then make their opinion. It's not humanly possible. And then it comes the personal bias. Okay. So because I will not be able to go through all those pages, so then I will have my preconceptions that how I feel about that university, and accordingly I will start grading. So that system we just stopped this time. We had a total online system. It was easy for the university also to fill up all those things. And it was easy for the experts also. And when I was sitting with the experts, it took just 1.5 hours to the experts to decide. So wherever they had doubts, they clicked and they verified the documents. Before that, a expert committee, another in-house committee, they just verified all the documents. And then they told it's a very easy process and very transparent way. Even, first time I'm sharing, the top 10 rank holders, there's a difference of hardly 0.3, 0.4 marks. So you cannot say in top 10, exactly the first university which has come is really the top. Because a difference of 0.4, 0.3 is not a big difference. But even that 0.3, 0.4 difference, we could not adjust for any university. It was all system generated and it was all transparent. And for the first time, I was also discussing yesterday, this is till date, we have not received even a single complaint by any vice chancellor that their ranking is not properly done or it has been downgraded or upgraded by anything. So that's really such kind of transformation we want, not reforms. We want the transformation, transform the system, whatever you are there. Think out of box. I want to make request to these students, don't go in the traditional way, just come with new ideas, how best you can really make a dent in the system, how best you can contribute for the cause of the nation. And then you will see everybody from the traditional universities, they will also feel like, oh, we want admission in the agriculture stream. Because that is the big challenge. Last year, I think the Inaugural also must have conducted. We conducted workshops for the students of 12th standard, along with their parents and teachers, so that to explain them what are the different opportunities in agriculture. Generally, and I'm going to conduct a meeting with the CBSE chairman also this month, so that they know what are the different opportunities available in this agricultural education. How many fellowships they are getting, what is the financial support they are getting, so that they get a choice to decide in which stream they want to go. Presently, the choice before any 12th standard student is whether to go medical or whether to go engineering. By choice, nobody will say, no, I want to go for the agriculture. So we want to make this choice and we want to change the mindset so that by choice they say, no, I want to go for, I'm preparing for agriculture, I will be competing for BSc agriculture or BBSc and AS, not medical science. I have observed some change, like I always quote, and that is 60% increase last year. If you see the figures of 2015-16 in the number of applicants against the same number of seats, whatever are there. So the students' interest is slowly increasing. Another good point I should compliment all agriculture universities is, again, I was compiling a data, and which you will not find in any traditional university. The average revenue per university is coming around 26 crores. 26 crore is the average revenue. Maximum is 130 crores. There one university is generating 130 crores. And I think the US Bangalore is also doing a lot of revenue generation. Inaugural is also doing. But again, the variation is too much. So that is another challenge, how we can make, based on the land grant pattern, the university is self-sustained, so that we do not look forward really for the revenue. And then there's less intervention by any state government in our university system. If you are financially self-dependent, how really we can do? So that is the challenge now. And where the contribution of each one of you is required. In education system, we are trying that how best we can have maybe the more globalization. So the foreign students, they get admission. From them, you can charge the full fee. There is one university, I'll not name the university, who are taking the foreign students in their university. And you see how much fee they are charging. And for that also, so many approaches are coming. 1 crore they are charging for UG program. And there's a long waiting list. Now, if you are charging 1 crore rupee from one student, from foreign student, NRI student, and so many students are in the queue. So why we cannot have in the universities like in Inaugural, the same system, in other universities, where we can have the good amount of the fee and just say that, yes, we can provide better education than any private university. If you see the MIT University, they are charging huge sum. But if the same fee, the IRI start charging, then students will prefer to come to IRI than going to the MIT University, because the facilities which you have got there are better. So that also we have to see, so that our own students, they are not charged more fee. Okay, they can be, their fee can be subsidized. So like that, we have to develop the models. So all those things we are now proposing. I'm not going to discuss the complete NEP here, but I'm just saying that our thrust is how best we can make the universities more self-sustained. So that's what we will try to do. To students in the last, I will say that keep learning. You have to live a life if you have to die tomorrow, but you have to learn as you have to live forever. It is an important saying by our national father, Mahatma Gandhi. So please keep learning. It's a never-ending process. Never say that I know more than anybody else. Nobody knows anything. If you see the ocean of learning, then you will find that we have knowledge of even not 0.01% or even little less than. So always keep learning from the persons like your all teachers. Teachers also have to keep learning, and for that we are promoting under the NEHEP to we have sent around 150 faculty also abroad last year, last year, and this year again we will be sending around 500 persons faculty outside. And that is also just because if you teach the teachers, I think it's a multiplying effect. You will have more and more students being benefited by that. So in that series, whatever you feel like, we will be there to help you. And I again compliment for the steps the university has taken during the COVID period for the benefit of the farmers, for the benefit of the students. I know a lot of new initiatives you have taken related to the exams, students teaching, other things through online mode, other things. So a great job has been done by this great university. And now you have a dynamic leader who is the best fitting example of the evergreen. I see the same personality for the last 20 years. And another 20 years, you will see the same Vishnuvardhan Reddy. You will see the same. So we have to be like Dr. Vishnuvardhan Reddy, the evergreen to evergreen. So he's an evergreen personality, and you are lucky that you have such a vice chancellor, such a dynamic vice chancellor. And I'm sure in the next 6 months or so, you will see the results of his dynamism. So compliments to you, and thanks once again for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all, especially to students. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir, Dr. Agarwal, sir. For all the support from ICR, we sincerely thank Dr. Agrawal Saab and Dr. Mahapatra Saab, entire Indian Council of Agriculture Research, for the huge support being given by ICR for our higher education program and infrastructure, and every support from ICR. We sincerely thank you, sir. And we also come up to your expectations with respect to all your suggestions. We will take care. And actually, after establishment of PPFRA, sir was the Registrar General who is responsible for today's the registration of all the planting material. Everything is going on in the country. He is responsible for all these things, preparing guidelines, everything at national level, and he was there for almost 7 or 8 years. And today, the guidelines set by him, we are all following for the registration, best guidelines, everything. And the university also has got benefit from PPFRA. And today, the honoring the traditional communities genome savior award, several innovative ideas were introduced by Dr. Agrawal Saab, and which is several prestigious programs. And I request all of you to give once again a big applause to our Honorable Agrawal Saab. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your support. Now, Bindu, I request Bindu Soumya, please introduce Dr. Rajendra Prasad, sir.
A very good morning to the respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. And it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Dr. S. Rajendra Prasad Garu. Dr. S. Rajendra Prasad assumed the Vice Chancellor's Office of the University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore. He obtained his master's degree from the College of Agriculture, Dharwad, and his doctorals from the University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore. And he also has a postgraduate diploma in business administration. He started his career as a research assistant at University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore, and has served National Seed Project for about 27 years in various capacities. He attended several international acclaimed institutions, the International Agriculture Center in Netherlands, Thailand, Philippines, Germany, and China for specialized training in advanced seed production, post-harvest seed handling technology, and plant variety protection, and established an academic relationship. Dr. Prasad has spearheaded an aggressive global strategy, which has resulted in effective national and international collaborations. As a special officer, he has made unique contributions in seed production by substantially increasing the quantum of quality seed production and popularization of new hybrids and varieties by distributing quality seeds to the farming communities. As a special investigator, he has implemented Seed Village program at the Uttar Pradesh. He also mobilized huge funds in setting up of model seed processing units and seed farms. He is instrumental in establishing Central Instrumental Facility with high-end equipment under project funded by the ICAR World Bank. He has sought to push the frontiers of knowledge and through more than 190 research articles in acclaimed journals, 55 research papers, and 12 books. As an organizing president and secretary, he organized 8 international and national conferences and workshops and several capacity building programs. He is the chairman of 107th Indian Science Congress held at UAS Bangalore, and he is the member of various committees of ICAR, IARI, and the Karnataka state government and several other institutions. He is a member of the Karnataka State Planning Commission. For his breadth of contributions, he has received 3 international awards and 10 national and state awards. Now I request Dr. Rajendra Prasad Garu to give his valuable speech on the multidimensional approaches on sustaining food and nutritional securities. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you. I'm not hearing any sound from the students. Yes, okay. So Jai Kisan. You see, now we started telling Jai Kisan when we start any function or when you receive the phone call, you have to say, instead of say hello, we have to say Jai Kisan. This is the word we have introduced in Karnataka. So kindly inculcate the habit of saying Jai Kisan when you receive any call. So because you have to remember our, Annadata. That's what the slogan we have made in Karnataka. I hope you will follow the same thing. The respected chief guest for today, and also our mentor and good friend, and very dynamic Deputy Director General Education, who brought a lot of the transformations after he assumed the charge by using the ICT technology. Friends, today we are now, when you see the progress in the division of education at ICAR, we could see a lot of tremendous the progress, because I have associated with the division since long period. But in the span of 1 year, we could see a lot of things. Almost more than 85 to 90% our transactions through the, only online. So that credit goes to our honorable respected DDG, Dr. Agarwal sir. Thank you very much for all transformations you have made. And another, my good friend, I know him from almost 3 decades, because I was working with the sunflower hybrids, and Dr. Vishnuvardhan Reddy was also working in this sunflower hybrids in DOR, Hyderabad. So I used to visit very frequently. Actually, Angaravu and our university is almost going like brothers and sister, because I used to come to NSP, that is Rajendra Nagar, very frequently as a monitoring team member. Since the beginning of that, Murali Mohan Reddy was heading the NSP, followed by Ragaya, and then Vishnuvardhan Reddy, then Naidu Garu. So many people, because I was in there for a long time in the NSP, I was associating with all neighboring states. Then one of the honorable board member, Murali Linta Reddy, and also the Dean Agriculture, Dr. Pratap Reddy Garu, and also the PG Dean, Dr. Bala Guru Yagaru, and all the Ravindra Reddy Garu, and all the people who are sitting on the dais and off the dais. And the most important today is my students. But one thing I observed here in the hall, big hall, I could see a lot of the girl students here. So just I was asking, what is the percentage of girl students? He said almost to the tune of 60. The same case with our university also. When I was a student, only 3 students for the girl students. Every students were going to make the friendship with only 3 girls out of 100. That was the situation. Now I think the girls are finding difficulty to have the boyfriends here, in the sense for the close studies and other things. So, and once again, this is all you see, looking at the development and the progress, that is women empower, and also entrepreneurship and other things. So this is what I observed. So compliments to all of you. But today, what I observed, the one important thing, this is a conference on the multi-dimensional approaches for sustaining food and nutritional security. Here, 3 factors are important, for which I would like to compliment my friend Dr. Vishnuvardhan Reddy. The one is, because the girl students are more, your responsibility with respect to the nutritional security is more since beginning of your childhood, as a mother, as a housewife. So many responsibilities have. As a result, I think this is more up, because you should have more responsibility to ensure the nutritional security. The second important thing which I would like to say, compliment again, why it is apt, because today the UN has declared International Year of the Year for the Fruits and Vegetables for 2021. Probably you are asking why they have declared this 2021 as the International Year for the Fruits and Vegetables. Because I believe today the COVID-19 has taught us a lot of lessons, lot of experiences. So many things has taught. So, but you also experienced a lot of things. So this may be the reason why, how we should build our immunity and also resistance power to such kind of, the pandemic like COVID-19. So you should eat more vegetables and fruits, in addition to what we are eating, the carbohydrates and the proteins, so that we can develop the immunity. That was one of the slogan, one of the recommendations we have to popularize for going for the more of a nutritional, the things which we have to. So today I could see 175, participant, in addition to physically you are here, participating in this event. I saw it in the online, it is appearing in the TV. It's really great, and congratulations once again, because this is the transformations which we could really see. How even sitting at home, sitting at the place where he is working, you could listen to the kind of things which he likes. So this is one thing. When I was talking about this International Year for the Fruits, today we are eating the green color, yellow color, white color, red color. Every color fruits and vegetables are used in addition to the rice and the bread. So that means, are we taking the food what we are supposed to take? What is the total, the requirement everybody has to take? It is maybe 400 grams per day per human being, just to become a nutritionally we are strong and supplement all the requirements of our body. But in reality, it is not so. We are taking. But one more thing which is also affecting our, the biodiversity. If you keep on taking the monotonous crops and other things, it will affect the planet also, and also our total biodiversity. So therefore, we need to switch over from taking the monotonous food and monotonous things to the various kind of things, that is, the multi-dimensional approach to ensure the food and the nutritional security. I'm not going to in details about what my people, my colleagues, my elders are, and also the experts have spoke already, how we are placed from 1950 to today. When we are in the begging bowl today, we are in a position to export the food grains to the other countries, earning a lot of the revenue. As we could see, as already Vishnuvardhan Reddy mentioned, what is the significant achievement in terms of food grain productions, vegetable productions, milk productions, and also the fish production. But is it enough? Are we happy with this? Because today our natural resources is depleting, and our population is going up and up. In that situation, our, what we are doing today may not be sufficient, and we have to work in a multi directions and, address these challenges. When we are thinking about the, food security, yes, we are at least self-sufficient to some extent. When it comes to the malnutrition, one of our dean has mentioned what is the percentage of malnutrition exists today. So how to address? Today, the topics which you have mentioned here, I could see the resource conservation technology for enhancing the crop productivity. Just because I have made a lot of notes, but which I already printed, I don't want to talk about that because most of my friends, most of my seniors have spoke well. But I would like to focus some of the points which I encountered, my experience during my tenure as a Vice Chancellor and also the Dean, how certain things can also be followed here, how certain things which I can follow in my university for the benefit of my students. This program, what we are organizing, 2 days program, this is a national, you call it as a seminar, we call it as a science week, which will be held for 4 days. It is not for the 2 days, it will be held for the 4 days, wherein all the PG students, that is the Masters of Science students, has to display what you have done outside. In the concurrent sessions will be there. We have made 5 groups, that is crop improvement, crop protection, social science, and also crop productions like this. So in that situations, what we used to do, we used to call the experts from outside, not from our university alone. And they have to evaluate, and the best posters and this is to be given best paper award, something like that. The second most important thing what we are going to do here, the PhD students compulsorily, they have to make the presentation, otherwise they will not get the degree. And they have to publish one paper in a high rated journal. So when they make the presentations, we are inviting a lot of industry people there. It is not merely for the purpose of the students. Yes, it is required, as our PG Dean mentioned, it is a platform to make you to write, learn, and in terms of grammatics, in terms of conversion of your research into innovation, so many things it is there. But at the same time, we also invite some industry people, because today our research should be oriented towards the market driven, our consumer preference. So that we need to have. In that case, if those people, if you are involved, I think we can get the feedback. At the same time, our students, what we have done, the research, that will be converted into innovation. That innovation will go into as a technology or the service to the end users, our stakeholders. So that component, if you include by inviting the people, especially the startups. See, today, another area where we can, the students who are here, is agri startups. When you say agri startups, many people are venturing. I could see, because I was managing one agri incubation center, I could see the people who are other than agriculture students or agriculture graduates working in the agri incubation center and making a lot of money and lot of innovations they are making, giving the good service. Why can't our own agriculture students own your technology, own your research innovations can be converted as a technology and make money? This is what my request to all of you. I request the Honorable Vice Chancellor to, in your incubation center, why can't you take these students, those who are, really wanted to become an entrepreneur, and give them as a mentor and work them for an incubator for 2 years and let them go as an entrepreneur who can provide a lot of jobs to the other. This is one thing which I would like to suggest in this August body. The second point which I would like to suggest here is, when you people are writing, they are publishing the thesis or writing the thesis, nowadays the students started using, computer. They use the computer, cut and paste, and, they make a lot of things. As a result, your writing capability is going to be reduced. This is my experience. This is what I observed in many of the students. So therefore, I made it one rules compulsory. The students who are submitting the thesis, the first copy should be handwritten. Why you are murmuring? No, you should. You see, sir, once you start handwritten the first time, you will learn a lot of things. So it should be so that you see the difference between just you typing on the computer and writing using your hand on yourself, and you see the difference of knowledge you are going to gain. This is one. Of course, subsequently you can avoid, but first copy you should write, then you will see the impact. Why I inculcate this one, because when I did my, the diploma course, one of the mandate in the diploma course, submission of the assignment by own handwriting. So I was, doing associate professor. I took this course. My hand became, writing this, become very, what do you call this, tennis elbow, so pain shirogaya. It was there for 6 months. So then I realized, yes, it is required. If you don't practice this one, future you'll have a problem. So therefore, this is one idea which I have given, and it is working well. Still, some people are not even, ready to take. Then another point which I would like to mention here is just I am seeing area where you would like to work. Already they have mentioned, Dr. Vishnuvardhani, our DDG Saab has mentioned the area which you have to select. But nowadays, the routine things, the students will take the, research projects and they try to complete. But today, your priority should change. So the selection of topics should be changed. In the sense, it is what the industry demands. So you have to interact. So that's why what I request the Honorable, the Vice Chancellor, have industry interactions with our PG students. once in a while, and they will give the lot of tips. At the same time, they will observe our PG students, especially after the completion of their, the coursework. You can put them as an internship. So like, our, the engineering students, they go for the internship for 6 weeks, 5 weeks. So like that, why can't we introduce this? So this we have introduced, and the students who have been working in some of the companies as an interns, after completion of their PhD degree, they have observed in such kind of the institutions. So at least out of so many students, if 10% of the students get the internship and work in that, so we will allow the students to work in the corporate culture and their thinking dimensions will change. So this is one area where you can think. So again, with respect to the priorities of the focus areas for the research and the development. So now we would like to think on the genetic potential enhancement and development of value additions to the value chains in the agriculture commodities to ensure the food and nutritional security. Why I'm insisting this one? So recently we had a brainstorming session. What should be our crop improvement program? Because COVID is the one which really made us to think. So then we thought, can we think of some crop improvement program which we can develop the crop varieties, which can really give us build the resistance among the human being. This is one thing. The second thing which we also thought and given some program, diets. Diet in the sense, what type of diet we have to consume to ensure the kind of immunity to our body to resist this kind of things. So it looks very but it really matters, because many of the ingredients which we consume having a lot of potentiality with respect to the nutritional security as well as building the resistance for some of the diseases. Can we think? So for which you can't do it yourself alone. You should have a partner. The partner, who should be the partner? The medical research field. Yes, we have. Because why I'm telling this one, we are consuming a lot of food, especially the pulses, cereals and other things. What is the bioavailability of the proteins? What is the bioavailability of the sugars and other micronutrients? It is not exactly what it is available in this one. When we consume it, it is not so. So in that case, what are the factors which really hinders this kind of things? Can we dig out? So for which we need to have partners, and you should work in this direction. This is one area where you can think. Again, the agriculture productivity gain and the input use efficiency. Yes, I have seen the list here. That is resource conservation and technology. Yes, today, Honorable Prime Minister was also mentioning about doubling the farmer income. When we say doubling the farmer income, it is not merely increasing the productivity alone. It is, we have to cut down the input cost. We have to cut down other factors which really matters in terms of the production cost. So in that situation, what are our main objective is, you have to manage our natural resources very efficiently. As a result, we can cut down or minimize. To quote an examples, now you look at the fertilizer consumption. What is the consumption? How much you are using? So can we minimize this one? How we should minimize? How many people are using the recommended dose of fertilizers? Many people are using. Whether it is required? No. Where the soil testing is done and it requires only few nutrients. In that case, why we are recommending? Are we not doing this kind of job? Because today, as he mentioned, artificial intelligence, yes, we have developed an app wherein to manage the soil nutrition, just you go and click near the the land where you are staying, it gives all the information about your crops. In the sense, what is the nutrients available, what crops you can grow, and what is to be added. So if you do this one, we are going to save a lot of fertilizers, lot of the environmental hazards. In this direction, for every aspect, if you work on this, certainly that will be a greatest contributions to the nation. Then again, the water using. When I say natural resources, the water. See, future days, maybe 2050, if there is any war, it is for the water. So how to reduce the water, wastage and the consumption? Then already Prime Minister has mentioned the per drop, more crop. So in that directions, how we should, for which we have so developing certain sensors and also certain new technologies. So can we think of that one? Who has to validate? Yourself and as well as our engineers. So you have to have the coordination and see that it should be, working and give it to the industries. Then, as our DDG mentioned, the policies and the agricultural market. Today, the farmers are demanding only the prices. You are watching, seeing, what is the kind of acts they have given. They are all benefiting to the farmers. But we have to supplement the information to the farmers, to the policy makers, how it is really helping the farmers. This is the more responsibility of the students, especially the social science students. You should work in these directions and giving a lot of information. Today, what the farmers want, the market price. I think that is the one area where you can strengthen. Then the post-harvest management, you see everywhere, especially the fruits and vegetables. Again, in the government of India, they have given a lot of benefits. Earlier it was stopped, that is tomato, onion. Okay, thank you. Potato. So during the last, which one they have given? Top in the sense, not the top, so all the total, all the crops. Yesterday means 2 days back, in our, the budget, they have given 22 crops plus 3 crops, 25 crops. So these are all the things which they have given the facilities. How we can give information or supplement, educate the farmers in these directions. So this is the major job of our extension functionaries who are working in the extension division. Again, I mentioned the ICTs and digital platforms. This is most important for this one. We are talking about the precision farming. When we're talking about the precision farming, precision agriculture, so your role to giving the SOPs for each and every crop is a must. So this is one area you have to, because when you say high value crops, the precision farming, precision technology is the mantra. So therefore, you need to work in these directions and get the technology, see that it should be made available to the farmers. So these are all some of the areas which you should think and make it. The other thing which I would like to mention other than this one, can we think of this motivating these students to go to the field and start working after the completion of the degree? Yes, I think we have proposed as one of the planning commission board member in the Karnataka government, I proposed one thing, that is Krupakshet, in the sense Krushi Demonstrations Kshetra, that is a field. So here, the graduates who are going to take the degree from the farm universities, you should be given 5 acres of land on lease basis for about 20 to 30 years and a seed money of 50 lakhs, and which is returnable after 3 years in 10 installments. So job of this man, the agriculture graduates or any farm university graduate, he has to demonstrate all the technology what I mentioned earlier in his plot, and he should be a model to the other youth in the rural so that he can attract the people for the agriculture. And he has to demonstrate how this agriculture can become a business oriented, the job. So this is one thing. I think with the support of the Honorable Vice Chancellor, this kind of things which you propose to the government, really our young students who are doing PG students here, they can take up the job independently, see that they can give a lot of the jobs and also technology to the farmers. Then during the discussion, our Honorable DDG Sahab has mentioned about the ratios. Sir, here I would like to mention one thing. Yes, as far the ratio is concerned, we have optimum. We also thought, because today, the number of applications in the Karnataka for the agriculture, farm universities admissions, we have already about 4,500 seats, including veterinary science, for the entire Karnataka. But do you know how much applications we got? The options entries. So 1,63,000, sir. 1,63,000. And the candidates who are taking the admissions, most of the students are more than 95% and above. So why I'm telling, we would like to increase the percentage, which is right now 1% to the more. But the problem is the support which we are getting is not matching to the intake of the students. Because in the state government, we are facing a lot of problem with respect to this one. So my submission to the Honorable DDG Sir, how you can take this issue, a matter at your level, and you should guide the state government. This is what the things you increase. This is the kind of support we are also giving. At the same time, state government also should give some kind of support. So this kind of things, it comes, certainly we can increase the number of intakes and see that we can, number of graduates can be increased in this area, sir. Then the publications. So today, your output and everything will be rated in terms of publications. Yes, so always the people asking the publications rated more than 6. I request all my PG students, so kindly started thinking in the beginning, from the day one you start taking your thesis, the experimentation. So you have to think how I should publish a paper by doing this research in a high rated journal. Because once you complete the research activities, when you start writing, you will get a lot of ideas and the thinking. So that's why our DDG is mentioned, always read, read, read. Yes, that is a must. So reading is a must now. For reading, now you have all access. Not only you have to go to the library, and now almost all the library is equipped with e-resources and e-books. Everything is available at your place. So kindly make use of this thing. I must thank the ICR for giving us the fund to strengthen the educational, activities, especially the classrooms. Today, the smart classrooms has been given to the most of the universities. Today, what we are discussing here can be viewed at our colleges, not only in the head of the campus, in all the campus where your colleges are there. So this is, for instance, the expert is speaking somewhere else, that we can access to the students. That kind of facilities are there. So I wish you should encash those facilities and build your career. Then the Vishwardhan Reddy has mentioned about the students are allowed to work outside the universities. That is true. So this really helps us. Outside the university, in the sense, it is not only the agriculture university. You can also think of the high institutions. For instance, Hyderabad has got a lot of different institutions related to agriculture. So there, I think you must take your, chance and working with that. For instance, in our institute, we have the NCPGS, CCAM, and stem cells and those things. And get into those, even ISRO, even recently we have visited ISRO, and get into those institutions, seeing the infrastructure itself, our students get inspired to do a lot of things. How these technology can be applied in the agriculture field. So therefore, my request to all the deans and other things, kindly give them an exposure to the institutions, not necessarily to our agriculture institutions, the institutions working in a different field, but their field, how we can bring in the agriculture field. This is really making a lot of difference, which I experienced. So therefore, I request this can also be taken into consideration. So I think I have taken a lot of time. And the another one thing which I would like to mention, the great achievement, if you mind, you can do it. You see, with respect to the nutritional security, the ICR has developed almost 70 varieties or biophytified varieties. But the problem here, we also developed about 3 varieties, that is Paustic 7, 5, and 11, which are rich in protein, zinc, and also iron. The problem what we are facing is the multiplications and made available these varieties to the farming community. So this is one area where we can think and see that it should be available, because these varieties, they are rich in protein, zinc, and iron, vitamin C, vitamin A, all these things. So this is one area where we can also think and how we should reach the farmers. That is one thing. The one significant achievement the ICR and the ministry has done is, as our Dr. Vishnuvardhan mentioned, see, I was that time director of the Indian Institute of Seed Science. This is with respect to the pulse production. See, there was a 24% jump in the pulse productivity, just mere one intervention, that is the supply of the quality seeds. We were importing. See, the annual requirement of the pulses is around 21 million tons, but we could able to produce almost 24 million tons of pulses just by mere single intervention, that is called by farming 150 the seed, pulse seed hubs. So as a success of this, I think ICR also started doing in the oil seeds also, because now the oil seed importing, we are spending a lot of money. So there also we are going to do a lot of the achievements. So with this, I would like to once again, thanks for the opportunity the Dr. Vishnuvardhan Reddy and his colleagues has given me here to share some of my views with you. And I wish I could see some of my students are here taken the admissions. One of the students are in the JRF, first position in case of social science. She is from sericulture. I don't know where she is. So she has taken admission here, the first rank holder. So that way, I'm very happy to see my students across the country by this JRF, the facilities. So I wish you all the success in your future, whatever the way you like to build your career. I hope you will be success. But one thing I would like to conclude: always keep on working hard. Don't expect anything from that. One day it pay you without your not notice. That I experienced in my life. Thank you, one and all. All the best.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rajendra Prasad sir, for his excellent presentation and giving several ideas for how best we can improve for all the benefit of students and scientific community. I thank you very much, sir. Okay, that's all. Okay, now I request Uday Bhaskar. Oh, okay.
Now I request Dr. A. Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Acharya N.G. Ranga Agricultural University, to honor the chief guest of today's national conference, Dr. R.C. Agarwal Garu, on behalf of ANGRU. On behalf of National Conference. I request Dr. A. Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, Honorable VC, ANGRU, to felicitate our distinguished guest of today's national conference, Dr. Rajendra Prasad Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore, on behalf of ANGRU. On behalf of National Conference. On behalf of National Conference. We now very much pleased to present before you the wonderful and unique art of our fellow student, Mr. Chandrasekhar from MBA Agribusiness Management, SVAG College, Angru, especially to honor Dr. R.C. Agarwal sir on this auspicious occasion. Now I request Dr. A. Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, Honorable VC Angru, and Mr. Chandrasekhar to unveil and present the art of Dr. R.C. Agarwal sir, Deputy Director General, ICR. Thank you.
Sir, now I request Uday Bhaskar to present vote of thanks.
Esteemed dignitaries and the participants, a very pleasant good afternoon to one and all. Myself, M. Uday Bhaskar, PhD scholar, Department of Agricultural Extension, SV Agriculture College, Tirupati, feel honored to have an opportunity to express my profound and most sincere gratitude to all those who have made this inaugural session a remarkable event. Let me start by expressing my gratitude to the Almighty of God for making inaugural function a resounding success. First and foremost, on behalf of the university, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the chief guest, Dr. R.C. Agarwal sir, DDG Education, ICA, New Delhi, for gracing this occasion despite of his busy schedule. Your presence today in this event has immensely enhanced its importance. We are extremely grateful to you, sir, for your insightful address. Thank you very much, sir. Our heart fills with lots of gratitude and respect for our distinguished guest and keynote speaker, Dr. S. Rajendra Prasad sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, US Bangalore, for not only spending his valuable time, but also for enlightening and enriching us with his wealth of learning and experience. Thank you, sir. I deeply extend my thanks to Dr. A. Vishnuvardhan Reddy sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor Angu, for presiding over this function and for an enlightening address. Your address was unique and prompted us to visualize everything from a new perspective. Sir, thank you very much for your constant encouragement and to all of us to make this national conference a significant event. Thank you, sir. I wish to express my gratitude to the guest of honor, Dr. T.V. Murlinath Reddy, sir, Honorable Member, Honorable Board of Member Angu, for attending this inaugural function and delivering an inspiring address to all the participants. I extend my profound thanks and gratitude to D. Balagurvai sir, Dean of PG Studies, who guided us at each and every moment in smooth conduct of this program. I also express my sincere thanks to the special invitee, Dr. A. Pratapkumar Reddy sir, Dean of Agriculture, Angu, who had guided us in each and every moment of this national conference. I also express my sincere thanks to all the respected university officers, Dr. K. Ella Reddy sir, Dean of Agriculture Engineering, Dr. L. Umadevi Madam, Dean of Community Science, Dr. S. R. Koteshwar sir, DSA, Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. N. Trimurtulu, Director of Research, Dr. P. Rambab sir, Director of Extension, Dr. T. Giridhar Krishna sir, Registrar, who have taken keen interest and have taken time out of the busy schedule to attend this program, either physically and virtually. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to our beloved Associate Dean, Dr. B. Ravindranath Reddy sir, SV Agriculture College, Tirupati, who always stand by us, guide us, lead us, and motivate us. We thank you, sir, for your constant and continued support for making this event a grand success. I also thank Dr. G. Karunasagar sir, Organizing Secretary, Dr. P.V. Satchagopal sir, Co-Organizing Secretary, Dr. Qayyum Ahmad sir, Mentor, and my student co-organizing secretary, Srimati G. Mudula Madam, K. Vasudeva sir, for the supporting in all activities and making this program a grand success. I specially thank Associate Dean, College of Veterinary Science, for providing this auditorium for the successful conduct of this event. I also thank the scientists of Regional Agriculture Research Station, Tirupati, and also the faculty and students of Sri Venkateshwara Veterinary University, Padmavati Mahila University, and Sri Venkateshwara University for their gracious presence and active participation in the inaugural session of this conference. Behind every successful program lies the manifold efforts of committed faculty and students of SV Agriculture College, Tirupati. I would like to take a moment to thank all the committee members who were actively involved in arranging all the facilities for the smooth conduct of this event. My immense thanks to all the student delegates across the country who become a part of this national conference, presenting both in oral and poster presentations. Finally, I thank all the supporting staff, print and media, and to all the people who worked behind the scene to make this event happen. By chance, anyone to whom my oath of gratitude has not been mentioned. I say a big thank to all of them. Thank you. So, and a small announcement, sir, for the afternoon. And a small announcement for the afternoon technical sessions. So theme 2 and theme 4 will be held in the afternoon session, sharply at 2 o'clock. All the participants are requested to join the meeting with the code given in the acceptance letter. And this is also to inform that all the students present in the auditorium that theme 2 will be held at the same place in the auditorium from 2 o'clock, whereas theme 4 will be streamed live in the virtual classroom at SV Agriculture College, Tirupati. Thank you, sir.
Yes, excellent, excellent. Yes, I know. Thank you, sir. As a board member, we are supporting it.